apiece, even if this round goes awry.
Yeah, it looks like Astralis will be happy with this one. There's no way they're going to win it, but they got themselves a kill. They got the bomb planted. It's about as good as it's ever going to get. Zipex might be able to get a one constellation frag, but with the gap in the smoke, we'll see what can happen here. He's just looking for anyone crossing over towards those baskets, but Jack's ready and waiting, takes him down, gets his third kill of the round there. Well held by G2. They haven't really blinked at all here in this second half as they go up 4-0, 11-8 overall. It's the reason why they picked this map, and he said that CT side had question marks around it, but so far so good. That aggressive pistol has given them enough momentum to really start challenging on this map. They've got a nice reservoir of cash going forward as well. Kenny S bringing out the AWP, an AUG for Hunter. Haven't seen too much from him yet, but certainly a star in his own right. I'm sure he's going to start getting it done as this game develops. Round 20 coming up, another tactical timeout call by Astralis. Feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, it's time to get their thinking caps on. Sonic perhaps to pipe up as well. 2 used already. I do feel like that's always going to be a good sign of how much pressure you've put Astralis under, is how many timeouts they're using.
Especially when you had a 6-0 deficit to kick things off, and then you've still got them sweating.
Now the lead starting to get quite scary, extending. G2, this is going to be one of the toughest battles yet, though. A fully bought up T-side Astralis, even got all of the bells and whistles and decoys. Decoy and an AWP, of course, though, for Device. We'll see what he's going to be up to with that.
Decoy is actually really useful in Dust2 because you can throw that in T-spawn at the very start. If you're going for a B pick like this, they just think the AWP is just challenging. Right. He's firing off shots. He's not going to expect you to actually go towards B. They might actually be tempted to jump on the platform, knowing there's a shot still going off. So Decoy, we don't talk about it too often, but there's a very small idea behind the play. It only costs $50 to bring one of those out.
See so many different nuances in the battle for long doors between these players. Zipnix this time was jumping for the info, trying to draw out some utility, and did so. Instead, in the meantime, it's going to be Kenny S. Actually does connect the bullet through the door. Glaive, he'll be thinking about that one for the rest of this round, down to 23. Bomb starting to lean towards the B site, but so much time still on the clock. It does seem like their investigations are not concrete yet. Or their conclusions, anyway. This
would be a contact B play, but looks the thing's got nothing towards long, nothing sure right now. And Device gets the opener. So that could be the cue to go here. Amanek alone with the M4. He needs a couple of frags here. Kicks it off nicely, takes down Device, and they're going to try and trade this one out now. Knowing it's an M4 waiting on the site, Amanek does swing wide. He does very well to even make this a winnable situation. The damage done towards Glaive, they might be tempted to give this one a go. The bomb's not been planted yet. Still a 3 versus 3. Smoke down for Astralis. They scramble towards the site here. Bomb to be planted by Dupree in the default spot. And Hunter, they've actually got all the utility they really need. They can smoke towards tunnels. They can Molotov towards the platform position. Hunter's lining up the tunnel smoke right now.
Yeah.
That goes in. The flashes will go over. Molotov will be deployed, and that's all they can really do here.
Well, imagine if you get a molly into bricks. Glaive would be burning. That looked like exactly that. He's going to be burning alive. 8 before he gets his smoke out, though. And now that's enough information. They'll know there's one there. Dupree, flash, but not caught just yet. Going back and forth, but Zipnix all on him with the AWP. Reminiscent of that of Kenny S. Eventually traded. Nexa will get the frag and the defuse. That will be coming in time. It does have the kit, shaving off that extra 5 seconds on the defuse. 12 to G2 with a successful B retake. Those are words that we don't often utter.
That's just down to the utility there. We spotted it coming up towards the bomb site. They were calculating their approach and made sure they eradicated risk, especially towards the tunnels. That's where you can find most of the danger there. The Molotov towards the platform and the sandboxes as well. Really strong stuff from G2 here. Another perfect round as we head to number 21 here. The maximum loss is helping out Astralis with the bomb being planted. And it's Dupree with the long AWP spawns. He'll be taking that at the very start. When all else fails, try a long pick. And it's Mages through the mid doors. That works out pretty nicely as well. Alex get a kill with the Krieg through the middle doors. That's always going to feel very good indeed.
What an advantage to take. There's nothing Amanek can do about that. Simply by wanting to defend B, he has been caught off. And we get to see that again. Lovely work from replays there. Just tapping away in the mid doors. His 14th death. Amanek has managed to get himself back into this game. I will remind you, was taking a very slow start. Those 6 rounds Astralis accrued. Amanek had 0 frags throughout that. So now he's on the board, so are G2. This, however, does look like a good spot for Astralis to pick up their first T round.
It looks good, but Kenny S, he is a little bit notorious at the AWP in this certain position, fending off A executions like nobody's business. We'll see if he can do it once again. 1 minute remaining, still most of the smokes and flashes here on the T side, waiting for that reactive play we discussed before. And Kenny trying to take matters into his own hands, trying to get an angle where he can actually take a player down and fall back, but he is exposed. A flash comes over now, he's in a lot of trouble. Decent grenade though. Oh, it does about 100 damage there. Not bad at all. And now he can get himself towards Goose.
Yeah, even more than that. Everyone shaken by that nade. Molly to keep them at bay, and there's another one where that came from. They're going to take so much damage. Oh, God, they're bleeding. All of Astralis limping now towards the A site. 35 seconds, but the frag does go their way. Magisk opens up onto Kenny. Nexter realizing that time and the damage is on his side. He has the support of Jax, and that's the bomb down. Now they're just going to get fed these frags. Dupree with only an AWP. 3 to find. It's another perfect round from G2, and that's with an Astralis early lead.
That was nuts, actually. The fact they got the timings on that one as well. Remember, they lost the first pick as well.
Yeah.
They were gifted a kill at the start. That wasn't really down to skill. Just firing off shots towards the mid doors of a Krieg. You're not necessarily aiming or trying to get anyone sustainable manner. But the fact he gets that opening pick, they go into a default. They get short control. They execute fully. But it was just too telegraphed there. They had no presence elsewhere. They take 2 grenades, which equaled about 200 damage before they even committed there. There was just no chance for them. And it will have to be another eco here, or at least a partial buy for Astralis, with no bomb being planted. So Deagle's across the board. Maybe just a quick mid-split here. They've got a smoke for CT spawn. I'm sure they'll drop that momentarily and try and make their way towards B. Not happy with the control they gathered, though. That's going to be a quick kill from Jax. So they're going to try and fall back to an A split. Potentially the bomb's still down in T spawn. I would have liked that faster approach, considering he got the mid-control early there. Glaive does stand in the flames for a second, and Hunter should get himself quite the easy frag here, maybe a couple, and indeed he delivers. 5 on 2, Dupree with a flash, Glaive joining him, but it's looking like round 14 for G2. Remember, they haven't dropped a single round just yet. They're currently 6-0 up, which is looking likely to be 7.
I am so impressed with Jax. He's thriving in this G2 roster, certainly in this best of 3. 26 frags to him. Interestingly enough, with 17 to Kenny's name, he's actually on par with Jax in the ADR department. That just shows he's been chipping away, providing Kenny does take Dupree down. And so it will just be Glaive's Deagle from behind. Jax looking to add a 28th to his tally, and does just that.
Yes, indeed. You can see Kenny S and Nexa. They both have over 200 utility damage as well. I think most of that came from the previous round, to be honest with you, but still, they're doing a great job in that department. Haven't blinked once here on the CT side of Dust2. Money looking decent for them. They can afford to even lose a round at this point as they're knocking on the door of map point. Remember, they lost the pistol. They were down 6-0. We thought, okay, it's just going to be one of those games. Astralis has bulldozed their opponents, and everyone else really gets a look in, but they haven't really posted anything since. G2 got stabilized, looking fantastic right now. Device trying to use that long spawn once again, but he's flashed, taking a bit of damage there as he makes his way over towards the blue bin. Zipex trying to back them up the best he can, but G2 are fine with that. They're going to give them long control, and this is where the reaction will come through. And in Amanek and Hunter, they're going to take time. We talked about this all game long, Alex, and you have to take back real estate on the map if you lose elsewhere.
Glaive, a huge duel, taking initiative, just pushing all the way through doors. Magisk, he's tucked in on the car at T-spawn. If I'm Amanek, that's desk to fist immediately, though. Hunter, by traveling in pairs, does profit, catches Glaive unawares in tons. Best shot Astralis have had. Just 3 remain now for the defense, and Jaxie's looking to get a bit flanky. Magisk, however, continues to be somewhat of an issue. He's aware of it, but the timing not going to favor him, and Jax, actually catching a dink into Magisk. Perhaps that will come back to haunt him. Instead, Kenny keeping things relatively level. 2 versus 3. Still time, but they're considering a cross towards the A ramp, and they have managed to do just that. Spending their utility to stop Kenny from doing, well, that. More damage inflicted. The nade's not quite going to be where it needs to be.
What has happened there? Absolute nuke goes off at the HE department. 35 seconds, still unable to plant the bomb. Mages with 2 kills, and now a 3 versus 1. Kenny just trying to shut this one down if possible. We can deny the plant quickly, that would be enough, but that's now gone down on the A side here. And now they know you've got the AWP towards short. No one has to challenge him. No one has to do anything. You can get 1 kill here, and you still can maintain your crossfires. Kenny knows he probably can't win this one, but he'll give it a good go. Nice positioning from Device there. It's going to give them their first round on the board in the second half there. 14-9. And a couple of players survive.
Was Magisk's positioning? He was like all the way back at T-spawn. His responsibility there was to be kind of aware of the reaction from the B aggression, right? I mean, that's the explanation.
Exactly that. It's such a common call at this point, like for reasons I've stated, especially when you've lost a part of the map that's so key at the start there as well. You're going to be pushing in towards B. So Mages knows they've got a bit of an advantage. He knows they've lost a part of the map. So we'll hold back there in the T-spawn car. You don't see that too often, but with the Krieg, it makes a lot of sense. You wouldn't see anyone there with an AK, for example. It's a pretty new position, I'll be honest with you. The AK wouldn't be effective, but a Krieg in hand, of course, why not? You're always going to have the advantage there. No one's pre-firing that spot, and it yielded him a kill.
Plus, it's all the more quicker to join your team once you get that frag or info. It's quite a luxury. You can be, yeah, you're at T-spawn, but already middle, long, not too far away. Stone's throw away. Let's see if Astralis can make more on this T side, or if that is just a flash in the pan as G2 are looking to find their map pick victory. Just 2 rounds separate them from starting this series and getting very competitive with Astralis. This is, of course, the upper bracket game of Group B. Day 2 here at the ESL Pro League Finals of UNSA.
Yeah, the upper bracket semi-final, no less. Looking for progression here. Astralis look to be off to a flyer, but right now, G2 in full control of the CT side. It's going to be the long take here. Smoking towards the corner, flashing over, but you see it's a little bit mistimed. Dupree trying to bait the shots and unfortunately just runs in to the meat grinder here. It's going to be the first 3 for G2. No response, no damage. Just a perfect crossfire. Astralis, they might be giving up map point early here. What great play this has been from G2. The bomb goes down, rounds over. Mages, he's got absolutely nothing to say about this one. He's taking damage as well somehow with the wallbangs coming through. And that is going to be a very, very clean round. A decent response there from G2. They know exactly where Magisk is and then don't really want to face him here. Don't want us to challenge. Sure, we'll eventually get the weapon out of his hands and make sure he doesn't get 2 or 3 in the process.
Certainly. Do it neat, do it tidy. And every time you say meat grinder, I just have this image of like Sweeney Todd warming up the machine, you know, ready to make some more pies.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Make some Astralis pies.
Eels and Astralis pies. Wow.
From behind, 1 tap, all the more satisfying with the silencer on the barrel, and 15-9, G2. This is an incredible turnaround. The context of this best of 3, it's going to get a whole lot more spicy if G2 have proven not only they can win Dust2, but they can do so from overcoming the the large 6-round deficit, but doing the majority of the heavy lifting on their defense. I'm sure our analysts are going to be very excited to talk about that. I think Jacob in particular was keeping his eyes on the CT side of G2. Let's see if they can finish it off, though.
I'm impressed with the CD sides, to be honest with you. It's been fantastic as Hunter. He'll be delivering the incendiary at the very start. Another long, fast approach here from Astralis. They've got Galil's, Mac 10s, Barebones utility. Kenny S changing up his position now, trying to find that opening pick towards the Xbox. Oh, not going to nail it. That's going to cost him his life. It's a difficult one to land. And at this point, advantage for Astralis in more ways than one. Dupree will get the second pick towards middle. 5-on-3 now. They are struggling with the weaponry, though, so there's still a chance this one could fall apart. In terms of the setup for the CTs, now we have Amanek patrolling middle and B. Not an ideal spot. Might want to take a gamble stack at this stage just to keep everyone alive. He's trying to get his way towards CT spawns. I think that's exactly what's happening.
And I think Nexa picking up that orb is indicative of it as well. You'll gamble with it, but worst case scenario, at least you're bringing it into the next. The financial situation is a bit sketchy, but so is that from Device. He caught the flash from Nexa. Jax on the push through, so that's at least something. But with all this information Glaive has just gathered, he is screaming at his teammates, get your booties to B. Won't be any information on that cross. Jax didn't quite enable or was able to cast his eyes over there instead. Is he going to be ready for Glaive? He's acting like it's completely clear and Glaive's going to punish. That's the round. That should be enough for Nexa and Amanek to realize that this one perhaps just looks a little too far gone. Perhaps on the cross he could have a go, and that's enough. Back away. Keep hold of the Orp and the Krieg for a rainy day. Dupree might have something to say about it, though. Nope, nice and easy. Nexa will find himself one on the way out.
Not really worth the hunt if you're Dupree, to be honest. If you look at the cash on the Astralis side, they've got nothing. They really do need cash going forward here. You know that the CTs have barely given out any rounds here. I feel like you just need to hold on to your rifles. Like, you will never get to catch them off guard too much. Not a massive deal, but considering the cash flow situation right now, it might cost you a few grenades going forward. You're going to get $3,500 per player for winning the round via explosion, so there's definitely going to be some compromises made. But overall, pretty clean round with 3 players surviving there. Good reaction to make their way back towards B. We saw the gamble stack coming from G2, but that was quickly detected. You know the tendencies, you know who plays where, and as soon as you see certain names on that side of the map, you're like, right, Glaive, make your way towards B. He ran in with conviction, called it was clear. There was a little bit of resistance towards the double doors, but as you mentioned, not ready for it. Glaive already tucking himself towards the site and confirming the round as they get double digits here, 15-10. And now we get the exciting music, Alex. You know what that means. Give us a speech.
Well, G2 overcoming all of the issues that seemed so common in the first half of the first half. From 6-0, overcoming that puts us into a prime position for a G2 run. Take a look at that line of blue. Astralis, they've only found their redemption the 23rd and 25th. You talked about the Dupree hunt and whether or not that would come back to haunt them. Perhaps not in this one, but the next. It would be, of course, an opportunity for G2 to pick themselves up 16. Couple more match points to go ahead and throw one big jab before Inferno, and if we need it, Train.
Oh, you've given me chills, Alex.
Shut up.
The tension in the room is palpable now. It's all on the line as we get into round number 26. 15-10. Can Astralis hold on?
It's time to find out. Aggressive push. It either ends fast or not. And pushing straight through the flames, Xyp9x will draw blood, but in response, Nexus Flame does lick him down. And continuing aggression is Jax, pressing the issue. May get caught with utility and tagged down so low that the Molotov's going to catch him, I think. No, he's safe for now. We'll have a smoke to play around, but he knows the pressure's likely. And outside of that, the B aggression has gone all the way through. An interesting twist, however, is Device's position. He's already up on the other side of doors. Sound cues could be a factor here. Jax, he's cowering in pit. They know where he is. He's got no health, and Device arrives just when he needs to in order to find 11 for Astralis.
Amanek, though, in T-spawn. Technically got them locked in right now. He's trying to push them towards Jax's position. They need to be very careful. I feel like Astralis have got a firm understanding of what they have to do. They need to focus on this player first, but not if he's hitting shots like that. He's ducking and weaving around the flames here, but eventually taken down. So they know exactly what Amanek is, but he's hightailed it towards short. Smoked out for now. Flashbang goes over. He knows he's got a bit of time here. The flash is actually spot on, but Device with a better position. There'll be another run on the board for the Danes. Money not quite drained yet, but it's getting there. Got 5K on Amanek and Jax. 3 players on around $3,000 though, so it might just be the partial here and allow Astralis to get one step closer to overtime.
I'm still impressed by Jax in that situation. He's got 2 Molotovs thrown on him. One tick of that flame, he goes down.
Yeah.
He then has to find a safe spot between the 2 Molotovs. He's exposed to the player all the way on A as well as that, but still rotting the clock and doing his very best. This now will just be some pistols and a little bit of Kevlar sprinkled around for good measure for G2. See if they can catch an overextension from Astralis. Obviously highly unlikely. Calculated maneuvers. This one, perhaps not so though. Magus just taking a little bit of a risk and it's being rewarded. He'll even find the second. 2 players ripped from the server as Astralis looking to continue to close this one. Neat and tidy. Glaive will find Nexa. A covered rifle. I mean, Amanek perhaps has an opportunity here to swing this round at least a little bit into the favor of G2. Bomb's on its way towards A, and there's nothing that the CTs can really say about that.
Not much at all, really. All they can really do at this stage is sit back and wait and hope they go back towards B at this point. Device patrolling all the extremities of the map, though you can see there's no access towards short or top or middle. Hunter will be our last player. He's got no armor and a CZ and lower. Might have a chance here to get a frag. Gets the dink off, but Device going to tuck himself in. Run those bullets down. He will be dropped, but I don't think Hunter gets away with that rifle. Indeed, he will not. And there it is. 3 rounds now for Astralis to get into overtime. And they are so good at this. They are one of the best at just grinding back into these deficits and making sure they can actually get to overtime. And if they get there, they normally win them.
Off the back of a timeout, no less, Henry.
Yep.
Every single time, I swear, the power of those 30 seconds, I don't know what's said, perhaps nothing. But they do genuinely have the serious correlation between breaking when a team has a streak, those timeouts often bear fruit for Astralis.
It's funny you should say that. Historically, like Fnatic were a team that are very famous of taking a timeout and saying nothing and calming down. Like sometimes that can just be enough, just to kind of work out what's going on individually with your position and how you're getting counteracted. And this is a B split quickly. You can see them actually posturing towards the tunnels right now. Glaive's already made a way through. He's given the cue that he's found enough comfortable control towards middle that he feels they can go in towards a B play, and he'll stop the rotations. He doesn't have to be too active in that spot. He sees his teammates to trade out kills here towards B, which can be a tall order. We'll see Hunter tucking himself in towards the cubby right now. Only got the FAMAS in hand. He is isolated as well, so this doesn't look good at all. It's going to be checked, almost certainly.
Hunter's looking to wrap it up, but the spray is good enough for one. Xyp9x, however, with the trade, that is going to be a flurry now of players just swarming into the site. Amanek hasn't really got any teammate support in order to contest this one.
No kits, Alex. No utility. This is a save all day long.
Yeah, I mean, Jax towards spawn. He might be able to find a little battle with Glaive. He's probably going to get caught off instead. Will tuck himself in, so preservation of weapons becomes the priority now for the French squad.
Yeah, that's a wrap. See whether this is going to be where G2 can actually hold on to the weaponry, Alex.
That is a good question. Glaive's the one to ask it. Always an interesting dynamic in Counter-Strike when you really do have an opportunity to twist the knife, the financial knife. Glaive, however, we're going to be ready for that. Lovely off-angle for Nexa to catch and save, and actually flashing for the regress, does find another one. Keeping Astralis honest, despite the round victory going their way. Tucking in and actually do see Nexa perhaps falling to dupreeh. Nope, just in the nick of time. We're brought into round 29.
Well, they keep the majority of their firepower up for round 29. Just a couple now separates us from overtime. And I think this is the tactical timeout being called. It will surely be on the G2 side. It's looking to find out one extra round to get them over the finish line of their map pick of this best of 3. And now it's my chance, Alex, to give you the monologue, set the scene, get the excitement flowing. It's G2 who looks so promising so far in this second half, but now starting to crumble. The tenacity of the Danes shining brightly here. It's a difficult team to remove from the server, especially when they're this fired up. They want to take you down in your map pick, and they seem to be delivering on all fronts. 2 more rounds will do it. And as I mentioned, if you get to overtime against Astralis, you better make sure you turn up with your best game, because there's not many teams that can take them down in those sort of scenarios. I'm excited, Alex. I hope I got you pumped up. Woo. Let's get into round number 29.
Yeah, I mean, I'm throbbing all over my body.
I bet you
Incredible.
are.
Let's see how Device knife out all the way down middle, and a flash as well. He wants to get an aggressive line early, or at least some early utility. You'll see the Molotov now just to make things a little more complicated. I'll have Magic responsible for the Tons push, and Hunter will be set up to keep mid safe and sound regardless of any smokes. So let's actually immediately change and think better of that. A lot of moving parts to round 29 here.
A lot going on. You can see they're slightly concerned about the prospect of a B attack here. Hunter and Nexa maybe going for the old NOA boost towards middle. You don't see it too often, but it's very effective. Allows you to look over the mid smoke, any transitioning players towards shore. Did not dismount cleanly there. They made a footstep. That gives away key information. And yes, first kill the round.
Will that be enough to draw their attention away from Jax? And despite the movement from Zipex, Jax has had no issues in surviving, as Glaive's going to need a fresh magazine. Might have to even invest a Molotov into that one. He does. Jax does manage to get away, get out of dodge. Astralis changing their plans. And in response, Hunter and Nexa leading towards B. A falls as well. This is looking all good for G2. 1 frag away from taking their map pick. It's Glaive thrust into a clutch. 1 versus 4. I correct myself.
Yeah, it'll be one hell of a clutch. If they could pull this one off 30 seconds, and it should be the... Oh, he's just given up at that point as well. You got me. It's a fair comp.
You got this one, folks.
Well, there it is. They do avoid overtime. That's all that really matters. They've got the W on the board on their map pick after being down 6. And this